At number 10, we have George Clooney. In 2013, George Clooney sat down for an interview where he didn't give a much glowing review for the electric vehicle, and it was developed by Elon Musk. George would note that he was the first person to own a Tesla, and he said since getting it, he always finds himself stuck in the middle of the road. He then went on to say that Elon needs to make the vehicles work because they aren't working so well now. Elon would clap back in a tweet by saying, in other news, George Clooney reports that his iPhone 1 had a bug back in 07. Gotta work on those customer service skills, Elon. I mean, to be fair, it probably didn't feel great to have a celebrity trash your product, but he didn't choose such a great way to respond to the issue. At number 9, we have Mark Zuckerberg. It's gotten to the point where Elon and Mark Zuckerberg don't even try to hide that they dislike each other. Back in 2016, Mark's $200 million satellite exploded in a pre-launch fire test accident, which was attached to one of Musk's SpaceX Falcon 9 rockets. Mark would go on to say that he was deeply disappointed that the SpaceX launch destroyed his satellite that would have provided connectivity to a lot of people across the continent. Elon would come out to say it was his fault, and he did offer him a free launch to make up for it, and Mark's company did have insurance. The two tech giants have also publicly feuded over the future of artificial intelligence, and Elon has even said that Mark's understanding of it is pretty limited. At number 8, we have Grimes' mom. Now, Grimes' mom has never been particularly keen on her daughter's ex-partner. When Musk would reference The Matrix by saying, "Take the red pill," Grimes' mother would respond by saying, if your partner went through a challenging pregnancy and childbirth in the last 2 weeks and you were over 16 years old, would you be blaring MRA nonsense on Twitter right now? Now, the red pill reference is a concept that's been adopted by the right-wing groups, men's right activists, and basically anyone who hates women. Now, Grimes' mom has since deleted the tweets, but she definitely wasn't impressed with what she read, and I definitely don't blame her. At number 7, we have Jeff Bezos. Apparently, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk once had dinner together back in 2004 to exchange ideas as friendly rivals. But as the two began their race into space, the friendly rivalry stopped being so polite and it started to get really heated. Their first dispute would happen in 2013 when NASA stopped using their launch pad and offered up their historic launch complex 39A for private use. Naturally, the two competitors would compete over the right to use it, and Jeff would then file a complaint to challenge Musk. However, he would lose, and it would opt Musk to sign a 20-year lease for the exclusive rights on the famous site. Jeff would then go on to hire a former SpaceX vice president after Musk would fire him, and Elon would then go on to secure another NASA contract, and it would leave Bezos livid. At number 6, we have Jeremy Clarkson. So for the last 14 years, Elon Musk has been publicly feuding with Jeremy Clarkson. The drama started all the way back in 2008 when a Tesla vehicle, the Roadster, was featured on an episode of Top Gear. At the time, Jeremy was actually still one of the show's presenters, and he stated that the Roadster could only run for 55 miles on a single charge, and to rub salt into the wound, footage would show the car being pushed back into a hangar after its battery ran out. Elon definitely wasn't going to let the show get away with it, so in 2011 he actually sued BBC for libel and malicious falsehood while stating that the breakdowns were staged and that the statements were untrue. A judge would later rule that no one reasonably would compare a vehicle on a track to its performance on the street, and Elon would try to appeal the case, but it would also be unsuccessful. At number 5, we have Meghan McCain. Now, Twitter has lost its charm for many lately, but it seems like nothing can stop Elon Musk from speaking his mind. When Elon first tried to back out of a $44 billion deal to buy Twitter, he found himself in a little bit of controversy after sending out a post praising large families. When Elon tweeted that he was doing his best to help the underpopulation crisis, Meghan McCain slammed Elon Musk's intentions, alleging that they didn't come off as genuine. They didn't come off from a genuine place. Meghan would then say to impregnate the planet mentality, it's creepy and it comes off like the actions of a cult leader more than a person who wants to expand their family to save the planet. She then would note, regular Americans can't relate to Elon's strange take on the pro-family argument because it feels impersonal and imagined. Meghan would then end her argument by saying Elon is an eccentric billionaire who lives an entirely different life compared to the world, and none of us can fathom it. At number 4, we have Johnny Depp. Now, Musk did take the high road during Amber's and Johnny's trial. Even though his name was dropped throughout the trial, Depp's lawyers even alleged Amber had an affair with Elon before Johnny and Amber officially called things off. Musk would go on to say that both Johnny and Amber are acceptable people when they're at their best. However, during the trial, Johnny would send some texts that were a little less flattering. Johnny would call Elon Musk Elon Mollis. In other words, he would channel his inner Jack Sparrow and compare the CEO of Tesla to a slut. because he got with his ex-wife. Gotta love it when Johnny surprises us with our beloved character, Captain Jack Sparrow sometimes. And number 3, we have Azealia Banks. According to a series of Instagram stories posted on Banks' page, she said that Grimes invited her over to Elon's Los Angeles mansion to work on some new music. However, Banks would then spend the weekend alone in the mansion while Grimes was confronting Elon after he announced on Twitter he was taking Tesla private at $420 per share, funding secured. Funding, however, wasn't secured, and he would be ordered to pay $20 million by the SEC. Banks would then tweet that Elon was a beta male and that he had hair plugs to convince himself he was the alpha. While Musk has claimed that he's never met Banks, he has come out to say that she saw him in the kitchen tucking his tail in between his legs, lying to investors to cover up his behind after the tweet. She then would also note that she could run Tesla way better than he could. And number 2, we have Bill Gates. Bill Gates and Elon Musk have argued over everything from climate change to the pandemic, and it's clear that these two just don't like each other. Back in April, however, Elon asked Bill if he was short selling Tesla shares. Bill would respond by saying, "I'm sorry, I haven't closed it out. I would just like to discuss the philanthropy possibilities." Musk would then clap back by saying, "I can't take your philanthropy on climate change seriously, and when you have a massive short position against Tesla, the company's doing the most to solve climate change right now." This isn't the first time the two would have a public disagreement, as back in 2020, Bill bought himself an electric Porsche, and Elon said that his conversations with Gates have been pretty underwhelming. And at number 1 today, we have Sarah Palin. So Sarah Palin has had some opinions that have left us wanting to hear more. On her Facebook page, she called Tesla a loser and accused Elon's signature car of turning into a brick when its battery completely discharged. She then went on to say companies like Tesla received a substantial amount of funding in their early stages of development and then would lay off most of their workforce to remain profitable. Elon Musk would then respond by the tweet by saying, "Sarah Palin called Tesla a loser. I'm deeply wounded, and ooh, you can see the sarcasm dripping out of the words as you read them." He then went on to note that bricking happens when the battery pack is unplugged for too long and it can't be revived, but it's covered under the warranty. And number 10, we have Coca-Cola. After bidding $44 billion on Twitter, Elon came to celebrate his bid by jokingly announcing that he would like to take over Coca-Cola next. Talking to his 87.1 million followers on Twitter, Elon went to say that he is keen to buy Coca-Cola next, as he would like to return the product back to its 1885 recipe. Now, it is fair to say that Elon seems to just be writing just about everything on the internet recently, and if you look at Coca-Cola and how much it would actually cost, it's most likely that Musk was joking when he said he was thinking about buying the company. Considering Coca-Cola is one of the most valuable drink companies, and it's currently valued more than $255 billion, and Elon's only worth about $209.1 billion, we won't see this purchase going through anytime soon. One Twitter user has even gone as far to make a good laugh out of it by telling Musk he's too poor to buy Coca-Cola. And I mean, it's not wrong. At number 9, we have McDonald's. In a second tweet after buying Twitter, Elon surprised everyone when he tweeted on 2 companies he would like to purchase. One of them happened to be McDonald's. He would then go on to explain that the reason for buying the company is so that he can fix all of its ice cream machines. Now, we all know McDonald's ice cream machines are the worst, and Elon would say as much as it was fun to poke fun at the company for it, however, he can't make miracles happen and fix the machines. Soon after Elon made the funny tweet, people started sharing their own companies and places they believed Elon should buy next. Now, who knows if the multi-billionaire was kidding or not? I guess we're just gonna have to see what he purchases next. Hey Peaches, are you enjoying this video so far? Then if so, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, it would really help me out. At number 8, we have Rocket Lab USA. Considering many claim to say Rocket Lab is the closest thing to SpaceX on the public market, it's easy to see why Elon Musk might want to merge with the company sometime soon in the future. If Elon could merge with the company, it would only cost him $2.6 billion, which makes the company highly profitable if you take a look at Elon's net worth. Now, Rocket Lab USA is an aerospace company which developed rocket launchers and control systems for space and defense industries. On the other hand, if you take a look at Elon's SpaceX company, you can see they design and manufacture, launch, and advance rockets and spacecrafts. So the connections between the companies could merge merge, and it would be a huge merge if they were to. So it's definitely something we should keep an eye on because the merger for the company is something we could see in the future. At number 7, we have Rivian Automotive. Tesla still remains the clear leader when it comes to global electric vehicles, and we probably won't see that change anytime soon. The market's Fortune and Business Insights estimates that the company could be worth up to $1.3 trillion by 2028. That's why we're seeing more startup companies entering into the electric vehicle market, a turf that Tesla was pretty much operating in with little to no competition until now. Now, Rivian Automotive Inc. is an electric vehicle startup that went public recently, and it started to produce its own electric trucks back in December 2021. Backed by an excellent business model, a direct-to-customer sales strategies, Musk could soon want to get in on the company as the Bank of America has given it a stock buy rating, and the company's values stand at $40 million alone, so it's definitely a company we might see Elon target to buy soon. And number 6, we have Clubhouse. So if you're someone who keeps up to date on all the new social media apps, then you know Clubhouse is relatively new invite-only social media app that allows users to have audio chats with each other on topics such as crypto, trading, sports, celebrities, and the list goes on. So once on the app, you can basically search topics you're interested in and join respective chats. Now it might not seem like a company Elon would be interested in. However, he and many CEOs actually already use the app, and since buying Twitter, he's been quite focused on promoting a free speech movement on social media. And by buying the app, he could allow people to push boundaries while having some pretty heated discussions. At number 5, we have Ford Motors. Elon Musk has been using digital media more recently, especially when it comes to Twitter. The star has opted to use the app because it helps him grow his personal brand and several of his businesses. And we know social media will allow him to do just that. It's no secret that this move has kept his competitors to stay afloat, and now it may come to no surprise that when Ford seemed to take a jab at Elon's workers' rights challenges with their own International Workers' Day ads, the ads would go on to say, right now, it could seem that people who matter the loudest are those who are tearing things down and flying on their personal spaceships when things get harder. From what we know, Elon definitely wasn't impressed with the comment. He could buy Ford Motors just out of spite to shut the company down. And number 4, we have quantum space. With the competition increasing in electric vehicles market, Elon Musk has definitely been working hard to make Tesla independent. When it comes to the terms of materials and suppliers, Elon's very quick and keen on buying up startups that manufacture electric vehicle parts, such as batteries. So with quantum space being in its early stage of battery tech startup that hopes to increase the range of electric vehicles and plans to have its batteries cut down on recharge times, it may seem like it would be a pretty ideal buy for Elon to purchase it, even though the company is still new and it's already worth $4.6 billion. So it would be pretty affordable and profitable if Elon was to buy it, and it would also be a smart move if he wishes to stay on top of the electric vehicle game. At number 3, we have Uber. So Musk definitely has a strong vision of getting Tesla into the ride-sharing space. He's even gone as far as saying Tesla's net worth would be the next Airbnb of ride-sharing one day. And if you know Musk, then you know that he tends to have these really big dreams. However, saying that the service is not reality yet. Elon will probably end up buying an already existing ride-sharing business like Uber or Lyft because both apps have the necessary infrastructure and some traction already on them. And it would be easier to use them than building one from the ground up. And yes, he could definitely go with a smaller startup business. However, he's also definitely can afford to buy Uber as the market cap is only worth $46.7 billion. And the company does have a large company base, so we wouldn't have to start from scratch. At number 2, we have Facebook. Elon isn't a big fan of Facebook, probably because Mark Zuckerberg and him have been feuding for quite some time now. Their feud has even gotten to the point where Musk would like to buy every share of the company so he can become the sole owner of the social media platform. When speaking at a SpaceX and Tesla investors gathering, Elon told the group that he had some cash and Mark knows where to find him. Elon would then show investors a video of his plans to delete Facebook. His plans of deleting Facebook. Musk would then justify his actions by saying it's not a political statement, he just doesn't like Facebook because it gives him the willies. However, I think the real reason why Elon hates Facebook so much is because he's all about freedom of speech these days and expressions, and on Facebook you just can't do that. And at number 1 today we have Microsoft. If you've been following any of Elon Musk's recent rants online, then you know he has an ongoing feud with Bill Gates. Things between the two lately have even escalated to the point where Elon has accused Gates of shorting Tesla stocks, which pretty much means Bill is betting on the company's downfall. downfall. Now, in the past, Elon has tweeted insults against Bill, and now Elon's wealth is far from what he would need to even buy Microsoft in the first place. However, it wouldn't be a surprise if he did decide to buy a significant stake in the company now that Bill is not holding a majority of the shares, just to undermine the company like Bill did with Tesla.
Number 10. Donald Trump. When Elon Musk tweeted that it's time for Trump to hang up his hat and sail into the sunset, things got messy very quickly. But since he was banned from Twitter, the former US president took to his alternative social media platform called Truth Social and hit back at the tech billionaire. When Elon Musk came to the White House asking me for help on all of his many subsidized projects, whether it's electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere, without which subsidies he'd be worthless, and telling me how he was a big Trump fan and Republican, I could have said, drop to your knees and beg, and he would have done it. He went on to criticize Elon for the Twitter ordeal and said that's something he should really be focusing on, considering he could owe the company $44 billion for something that's essentially worthless. If that wasn't enough, he ended the post with a final burn and said, also, there's a lot of competition for electric cars. In fact, at a political rally in Alaska, the 75-year-old brought him up again and called him another BS artist. But there's clearly something about the SpaceX founder that Trump just cannot stand. Number 9. Simu Liu. Fans of the Marvel star were divided over his criticism of Elon Musk's attempt to spend $44 billion to buy Twitter, because according to Musk himself, his interest in acquiring the platform in the first place stemmed from the realization that having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization. Describing himself as a free speech absolutist, he has said that he believes that Twitter should only be regulated by the laws of the country it operates in. But the star of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was not too happy with his ideas and spoke up about his disdain for the CEO. Quote, was there nothing better to do with $44 billion? The post got 333,000 likes and started a massive debate in the Twitter sphere. YouTuber Matt Muscles commented under his post that solving world hunger several times over would have been nice, referencing Musk's tweet last year about selling Tesla stock to resolve world hunger. But the reaction to Liu's post was so good to see, considering where Musk stands in the messy Twitter lawsuit right now. Number 8. Azealia Banks. Oh, where to begin with this one? In 2018, Banks wrote in a series of tweets that she had been trapped in a real-life episode of the Jordan Peele film Get Out, after being left alone for days in Musk's Los Angeles mansion. The story goes that the rapper had been invited to the mansion by Grimes, who was Elon's girlfriend at the time, so that they could record a song together. But instead of getting down to work, Grimes was allegedly comforting Musk after he announced on Twitter that he was taking Tesla private at $420 per share, with the funding secured. But he was ordered to pay $20 million by the CEC. But despite being left alone in the mansion, Banks continued to post about her stay on Instagram and accused Elon Musk of investment fraud by claiming that the tweet was written while Musk was high on acid. She also called Musk a beta male who took steroids and got hair plugs to convince himself that he was an alpha. Yikes. Musk was subsequently sued by a number of Twitter investors over claims of market manipulation in a lawsuit that was settled soon after. But the 212 rapper was not exactly finished with her feud and went on to tell Business Insider that she could run Tesla better than he does, and even called the couple pitiful. Number 7. Mia Farrow. In the hours after Elon Musk's $44 billion takeover was announced, some of Twitter's most followed and left-wing users pledged to never tweet again, although most of their accounts remain active today. One example of this is actress-turned-activist Mia Farrow, who's had no trouble using the platform to denounce the tech billionaire. In a tweet that has since been deleted, she announced that her intention was to dip. Quote, well, if Twitter becomes even more toxic with Trumpy, treasonous lies, and all the hatred, it will be taken less seriously, and people like me will quit for peace of mind. After receiving an intense amount of backlash in her comment section, she followed that up with another tweet that was almost dripping with sarcasm, thanking Musk for his companies Tesla and SpaceX before saying that she hopes he can keep Twitter worthy of his previous achievements and of lawful people everywhere. Not to mention when Musk said that Twitter should be a neutral platform so both sides can express their thoughts and ideas freely, Farrow retweeted it with a Desmond Tutu quote that said, "If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor." Number 6. Justine Musk. The Canadian author was Elon Musk's first wife, and they married in January of 2000 after knowing each other for almost a decade. But not long after the college sweethearts said their vows, Justine would slowly start to realize that she didn't know her husband as well as she'd hoped. It was only after their messy public divorce that Elon's ex-wife opened up about how she was mistreated during their marriage. In an article published in Marie Claire, Justine detailed their dysfunctional relationship and revealed that she felt like a trophy wife. She stated that her ex-husband always overpowered, disrespected, and mistreated her. Quote, "Elon's judgment overruled mine, and he was constantly remarking on the ways that he found me lacking. I am your wife," I told him repeatedly. "I am not your employee. If you were my employee," he said, "just as often, I would fire you." In the end, the tech billionaire decided that she was as expendable as an employee and gave her an ultimatum: fix the marriage immediately or give it up. She chose the latter. He filed for divorce immediately, and only 1 month later, he was engaged to actress Tallulah Riley, though he swore their relationship didn't begin until after his marriage. As of now, Justine and Elon Musk are reportedly not on speaking terms. Number 5. Meghan McCain, the former co-host of The View, slammed Elon Musk over his tweets about having multiple children in her new Daily Mail column. It started with a bizarre tweet from Musk about doing his best to help the underpopulation crisis, shortly after it came out that he had had twins with one of his top executives, 36-year-old Siobhan Zilis. Other celebrities like Nick Cannon joined in the Twitter exchange, but Meghan McCain was not having it. Quote, "What the heck is going on here? This may be the creepiest tag team tweet thread in history. I don't care how many times Musk eviscerates cancel culture and wokeism. I don't care that he is supposedly buying Twitter to save it from the bots and thought police, or colonizing Mars to save the human race. This is flat out weird." She goes on to say that this impregnate the planet mentality is creepy and comes off like the actions of a cult leader more than an altruistic person who wants to expand their family and save the planet. McCain claimed that it all feels very impersonal, fatalistic, and dystopian because he is an eccentric billionaire who leads an entirely different kind of life than any of us can fathom. So it's pretty clear that she is not a fan. Number 4. Shaun King. The activist who shot to fame during the Black Lives Matter movement was quick to delete his Twitter account not long after tweeting that Musk's purchase of the social media site is about white power, but he has since reactivated it amid news of the massive Twitter lawsuit and has changed his bio to "I'm still here." King has actually faced a number of allegations himself of mishandling charitable funds, which he has denied. But nevertheless, he's made it extremely clear that he hates Elon Musk and specifically pointed to the fact that the SpaceX founder was brought up in South Africa as evidence of his alleged racism. Quote, "At its root, Elon Musk wanting to purchase Twitter is not about left versus right, it's about white power. The man was raised in apartheid by a white nationalist. He's upset that Twitter won't allow his white nationalists to target and harass people. That's his definition of free speech." When the takeover was first announced, the writer posted on Facebook that he truly thinks this is a very bad thing for the richest man in the world to control the primary flow of information in the world. King might have certainly brought up some valid points, but his comments certainly left the internet divided over the issue. Number 3. Elon Musk. Elon Musk's estranged father recently did an explosive interview on the Kyle and Jackie O show and revealed that he's not proud of his billionaire son, claiming that even Elon himself is displeased with his own progress in life. When Jackie O said, "Your offspring is a genius. He's worth so much money and has created so many things. You can't take that away from him. Are you proud?" Errol just paused and responded bluntly, saying, "No. You know, we are a family that have been doing a lot of things for a long time. It's not as if we suddenly started doing something." Instead, he chose to praise his younger brother, Kimball, and called him his pride and joy. The younger Musk brother is a chef and restaurateur who operates the Kitchen Restaurant Group with a net worth of $700 million, compared to Elon's $271.2 billion. but he seems to be happily married and has 3 children with his wife Christiana Wiley. Errol expressed concern that Elon may never be able to settle down and even criticized his son's weight, citing that recent shirtless photo of him aboard a boat in Greece. Elon is very strongly built, but he's been eating badly. His comments might sound a little too harsh, but it just goes to show you that no matter how much you accomplish in life, sometimes it's never enough to please your parents. Number 2, Johnny Depp. Musk decided on not taking sides during the defamation lawsuit between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, even though his name was dropped throughout the trial, and Depp's lawyers alleged that she had an affair with Musk before she and Depp broke up. Much to everyone's confusion, the tech billionaire came out saying that he hopes they both move on, and at their best, they are both incredible. However, during the trial, some texts that Johnny Depp allegedly sent were less than flattering. He belittled Musk constantly and even called him Elon Musk. So why the hatred? Well, 3 years ago, the actor accused Heard of cheating on him with her ex-boyfriend Elon Musk, whom she dated publicly after their divorce. This exact accusation also made it into the defamation lawsuit in 2019, and the legal documents alleged that while Depp was out of the country, front desk staff testified that Heard had received Musk late at night in their shared penthouse and claimed that they saw him leaving the building the next morning. There's also been a flood of rumors circulating ever since the trial that Amber's daughter, Una Page, was secretly fathered by Elon Musk. So of course Johnny Depp wouldn't think highly of him. Number 1, Mark Zuckerberg. For over 4 years, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg have clashed over things like artificial intelligence and rockets, and they haven't exactly tried to keep their rivalry a secret. It really started in 2016 when a SpaceX rocket explosion destroyed a $200 million Facebook satellite. Zuckerberg issued a heated statement saying he was deeply disappointed about SpaceX failure. 2 years later, Musk hit back by tweeting, "Yeah, my fault for being an idiot. We did give them a free launch to make up for it, and I think they had some insurance." But when Facebook became embroiled in the Cambridge Analytica scandal, it was Musk's turn to diss Zuckerberg's company. The SpaceX founder publicly deleted all of his company's Facebook pages and tweeted, "It's not a political statement, and I didn't do this because someone dared me to do it. Just don't like Facebook. Gives me the willies. Sorry." Musk also criticized Facebook's data sharing practices and shared several memes that implied the company was spying on its users.
At number 10, we have Shonda Rhimes. In the wake of Elon officially taking over the ownership of Twitter's television powerhouse, Shonda Rhimes has announced that she would not be hanging around to see what Elon had planned next. Her decision to leave the app came just days after Elon confirmed the bird is free. Since his confirmation, people have been heading to Twitter to spread hate and have pushed certain boundaries to an extreme. Shonda is the latest celebrity to condemn Elon's new Twitter movement, which promises a free speech haven for those who feel like they've been censored by the platform's content moderation policies. And just like Shonda, I'm definitely saying bye to Twitter for the time being because this is definitely not it. At number 9, we have Toni Braxton. Toni Braxton has chosen to distance herself from Twitter following Elon Musk's takeover, as the Georgia Music Hall of Fame inductee is appalled by the hate speech in which she found on the platform since the billionaire took control of the company. On October 28th, Toni took to the platform to announce her decision to step away. She went on to say, "Free speech, I'm shocked and appalled at some of the free speech I've seen on this platform since the accusation. Hate speech under the veil of free speech is unacceptable." She then went on to condemn Elon's decision by saying, "Therefore, I'm choosing to stay off Twitter as it's no longer a safe space for myself, my sons, and other POC." Hey Peaches, are you enjoying this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. At number 8, we have Mick Foley. Following his reports of Elon acquiring the social media platform, Mick took to Twitter to say, "I'll be giving some serious thought to leaving Twitter for good in the near future. I do not have a good feeling about where this platform is heading." Now, his reason for leaving the app was a direct shot at Elon, as he doesn't see eye to eye with Elon in his new reality of where the app is headed. It appears that Mick definitely was serious about his tweet, as his account now seems to be disabled. However, he is active on his Foley is Pod account. However, who knows how long Foley will keep his ID deactivated for. So how do you feel about Elon Musk taking over Twitter? And let me know in the comments below. At number 7, we have Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg has deactivated her Twitter account after saying it's messy and I'm tired of having certain kinds of attitudes that were blocked now getting backed on. So I'm gonna get out. And if it settles down enough where I feel comfortable, maybe I'll come back. The star went on to state that some speech is not okay to free speech, and this one definitely has major problems with our society as they think they can say whatever they want. Whoopi then went on to say that it's no longer her problem to deal with Elon's actions because she's finally out. Just before exiting the app completely, Whoopi took to the platform to give her fans one final goodbye by tweeting to everyone, "Thanks for everything, until we meet again. Love, Whoop." And at number 6, we have Gigi Hadid. American model Gigi Hadid deactivated her Twitter account after Elon Musk became the new boss of the microblogging site. Taking to Instagram, Gigi announced her decision amid the mass layoffs by the organization. During her decision, Gigi also threw shade at Elon while stating her dislike to the direction he was leading the platform into. Gigi would write, "For a long time, but especially with this new leadership, it's becoming more of a cesspool of hate, and it's definitely not a place I want to be a part of." Gigi also went on to apologize to her fans before finalizing her exit on the platform. Gigi would say, "Only sorry to the fans who I have loved connecting with over a decade via Twitter, but I can't stay. It's not a safe place for anyone, nor a social platform that will do more good than harm." Gigi's profile now no longer exists on the website, and it might not until things start to go a different direction. At number 5, we have George Clooney. George Clooney hasn't had the best experience with Tesla, and he definitely wasn't scared to make his thoughts known about the vehicle. During an interview with Esquire, Clooney would give the electric car company a bit of bad press when he said, "I have a Tesla. I was one of the first cats with a Tesla. I think I was like number 5 on the list, but I'm definitely telling you, I've been on the side of the road for a while with that thing, and I have said to them, look guys, why am I always stuck on the side of the effing road? Make it work one way or another." Elon definitely was furious with Clooney with the review, so he took to Twitter to say, in other news, George Clooney reports that his iPhone 1 had a bug back in 2007. However, George wasn't the only user to have a problem with the car, so you should probably rethink your decision before you buy one of these electric vehicles. At number 4, we have Josh Gad. Josh Gad has been debating on keeping his Twitter account or not. The actor came out to say in a tweet that he was definitely leaning towards staying, but if today was a sign of things to come, he's not sure what the point is. Freedom of speech is great, hate speech is intended to incite harm with no consequences ain't what I signed up for. Research has shown that since Elon took over the platform, insensitive language towards people of color has increased by 500%, and the head of safety and integrity at Twitter has said on Saturday evening 300 users posted more than 50,000 tweets with a particular slur within 48 hours. Josh has also gone on to retweet a post by Stephen King, which expressed his dislike to Elon charging people $20 a month just for a verification sticker. At number 3, we have Alex Winter. Alex Winter is an actor known best for his role of Bill in the film series Bill and Ted. His bio on the site now says, "It's not there," and shows a link where you can follow the star on his Instagram just to keep up with his day-to-day life. Just before his swift exit, Alex went on to say, "Elon's taking over Twitter is making it a private company with less oversight, and it has immediately made the platform more prone to hate speech, targeted attacks, and the spread of disinformation. If Twitter returns to a public company run by rational actors, maybe some of us will return." The actor also took a jab at Elon by posting a meme that depicted Donald Trump, Kanye West, and Elon as the Three Musketeers. At number 2, we have Sunny Houston. It's no lie that Elon Musk has become a pretty controversial figure over the last decade. And while many celebrities have voiced their own opinions on how wrong Twitter has become, Sunny Houston would take her concerns to an interview with ABC. In the interview, she would call Twitter a horrible place and that she thinks people are excited because Elon is unleashing the trolls and allowing them to say whatever they want with no consequences. Sunny has also voiced her concern that it's definitely a scary time to be a woman because there are some surveys done that 38% of women said they received hate from all around the the world on Twitter, and 85% of women have definitely seen the hate spread through Twitter. With Twitter being dominated by straight white men, Sunny pointed out when Elon Musk is saying, wow, this is about free speech, it actually seems to be saying it's about free speech of straight white men. And at number 1 today, we have Stephen King. Stephen King has continued his feud with Elon Musk by saying he preferred Twitter in the pre-Musk days. Just before Stephen criticized Elon's plans to charge for Twitter's blue tick verification, he said if the platform actually went through with this change, then he would leave. Stephen has also gone on to compare Musk to a fictional character who cons his friends. Stephen took to Twitter to say, Musk makes me think of Tom Sawyer, who's been given the job of whitewashing a fence as punishment. Tom cons his friends into doing the chore for him and getting them to pay for that privilege. That's what Musk wants to do to Twitter. No, no, no. Since the new Twitter verification system launched on Wednesday, it's almost immediately seized by trolls impersonating public figures while posting some pretty offensive messages. So Twitter has now become a place where anyone can be anyone, apparently.
Number 10, Jeff Bezos. CEO, entrepreneur, born in 1964, Jeffrey Bezos. Thank you, Bo Burnham, for getting that stuck in my head for the rest of my life. I can't even go on Amazon now without hearing that. In case you don't know, Jeff is the CEO behind your favorite online shopping center, Amazon.com. Amazon originally started as an online bookstore and it sold its first pages in 1995. Since then, Jeff has been able to get into the right rooms with the right people to develop his bookstore into the tech and marketing giant that it is today. Jeff actually lives quite the exciting life outside of the world of Amazon. In fact, his rocket-based company successfully launched himself and several others into space last year on the first casual and commercial flight outside of the planet's ozone. Jeff was almost caught up in the Twitter feud himself, claiming that he saw Elon and Mark going back and forth and nearly chimed in with a let's make it a triple threat type deal. But he decided to keep his mouth shut and move on. Good move too. Imagine if he did send that tweet. Would Jeff, Elon, and Mark square off in the ring? Okay, since there's 3 of them, technically it's a triangle, but I don't know. Number 9, Jesse Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg actually played Mark Zuckerberg in the 2010 biopic called The Social Network. The film followed Mark and his journey to creating one of the most used social media platforms of all time, Facebook. Jesse recently shared his opinion on the fight between Elon and Mark, claiming that if it were to take place, that Elon better watch out. According to Jesse, he had to do a lot of research on Mark to prepare for the role in the social network. In his time doing said research, he noticed that Mark has a bit of a sporadic streak. He's quick and he's squirrely. Not to mention his mental stability was questionable considering his actions towards his colleagues and his friends. If you need further proof that Mark is ready, just check out his TikTok showcasing his jujitsu moves. Apparently Mark won a tournament for the skills recently. Not only does he have the unhinged mind that helps competitors go full force, but he also has the muscle memory to counter whatever strikes Elon intends to throw. So if Jesse's right, then the fight won't just be entertaining, might be quick. Number 8, Kenan Thompson. Kenan actually got to spend a week straight with Mr. Musk as he hosted the late night sketch show Saturday Night Live in 2021. Elon was chosen to host the show as he was promoting his new cryptocurrency Dogecoin at the time, and SNL had never really asked a tech mogul to come on and host a full episode of the show before. I was fortunate enough to watch that episode live, and I have to admit, Elon actually did a pretty good job. He's not an actor by any means, but the fact that he knows he can't do anything other than be himself in a scene made the performances feel so innocent and fresh. Plus, seeing him in a courtroom dressed as Wario? Priceless. Kenan told media outlets that if this whole fight thing was really going to go down, that his money is on Elon Musk. Not only is he physically larger than Mark, but Kenan claims that he has a strong dedication to his work, and he noticed Elon working harder than most other hosts to get their job done right when it came to showtime. If Kenan could participate as a ringmaster or something along the lines, though, that would be pretty sick. I would be very down for that. Number 7, Logan Paul. Logan Paul may have started his career online in the world of YouTube, but he quickly soiled that name following the release of a video in 2017, where he captured a lifeless body in a Japanese forest and decided to post it online. Some people are rough, man. Why does this guy exist? He was able to scrape together some fans though, and he shifted his efforts to a new form of media. Logan joined the wrestling world after signing a deal with the WWE to join its ever-growing roster of superstars. As someone who made the transition from media to medical attention, Logan has been vocal on his opinion, which is these two need to stay in their office chairs and just chill out, man. While Logan was easily able to make the shift, he also did it in his mid-20s after taking good care of his body for a long time. Elon and Mark are just two people sitting in their living rooms typing on a cell phone. No one wants to pay to see that. While this may not be linked to the WWE in any way, we can just agree that seeing either Mark or Elon standing in the ring would allow a lot of us to pass away a happy person. Number 6. Dana White. The hypothetical battle of billionaires is slowly becoming more and more realistic. With so many people calling for Mark and Elon to square up in the octagon, the UFC has officially gotten involved. The president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Dana White, went public with his opinion on the bout a few days ago, claiming that he was chomping at the teeth to make this thing actually happen. The UFC is no stranger to brutal bouts between bitter rivals. The idea that Dana White wants to capitalize on both of the hype surrounding the fight and the names involved as well, that's definitely not crazy to think about. Think about the title card: Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg, presented by Red Bull. He told the MMA news outlet MMA Fighting that he's currently working on a plan to put Elon and Mark together safely in a one-on-one match. The last thing anyone would want is the CEO of Meta or Tesla to accidentally get their nose smashed into their skulls. This match would also have some stipulations, as the MMA tends to split its fighters up by weight. Elon and Mark would be competing in what's known as an exhibition match, a one-and-done situation, and it doesn't matter how much you weigh. Oh, well, look at that, the UFC being all inclusive and stuff. Dana went on to claim that the event would feature up-and-coming competitors as well as veterans to make the show a spectacular for the ages. So here's hoping that it actually happens. That sounds cool. Number 5. Mae Musk. For those who don't know Elon's mom, let's just talk about her stellar career for a moment and give her a spotlight. Elon Musk's mom, Mae Musk, was on the cover of Sports Illustrated and has a modeling career spanning 50 years. She was a finalist in the 1969 Miss South Africa beauty competition before going on to appear in Revlon ads, magazines like Women's Day and Vogue, and she was even featured in a music video for Beyonce's Haunted in 2013. In 2011, Mae, a then mother of 3, appeared clothing-free on Time Magazine's Health issue and the New York Magazine as well. That must have been a fun therapy session for Elon. While that was surprising enough, what was even more of a surprise was that last year she graced the cover of Sports Illustrated and killed it. At that time, she was the oldest cover girl for the magazine, now only second to Martha Stewart. Mae is of course on Elon's team for this one, as she raised the kid to fend for himself since day one. Elon's a big boy now, and his mama is going to be ringside with a sign in one hand and a bikini in the other. Oh, what a supportive woman. Number 4. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan first got famous hosting one of the more questionable reality competition shows to ever exist, Fear Factor, in the early 2000s. Joe not only hosted the series, but he also had a hand in creating the many disgusting challenges that competitors were forced to participate in. What can we say, man? This guy just loves feeding people bull parts. We're not sure why. Since the show's cancellation, Joe has found massive success in the world of sports entertainment as a commentator and analyzer for the UFC, and as a little side gig though, he hosts a little show called the Joe Rogan Podcast. He's had everybody on this thing, from fake doctors to real celebrities. He's even had potential fighter Elon Musk on his show 3 separate times to speak about some weird and wild outlandish ideas that Elon has. Joe has spent a lot of time with Elon in his studio, so it comes as no surprise that Joe is on Elon's team for this one. All bets are on Elon, the man who wants to connect our brains via the internet so that we can share knowledge. That just sounds so weird. Joe has claimed that not only does Elon have the skills to beat Mark, but the brains as well. If Elon has to step into the ring, he's gonna step in with some kind of taser amplified gloves or something. Needless to say, if this thing actually happens, Joe will be ringside with a big ol' sign that says, "Elon, have my babies." Number 3, the Winklevoss twins. For those who haven't seen the film The Social Network, allow me to just fill you in on who these guys are. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss were the original creators of Facebook in 2002. The twins and their fellow classmate at Harvard, Divya Narendra, sought a better way to connect with their fellow students at Harvard and the surrounding universities. They developed a platform called the Harvard Connection. The idea for the platform was essentially it being clubs, so you could represent the school you were attending as well as meet others with similar interests as yourself. The idea was sound and it worked wonderfully well. So much that Mark Zuckerberg decided to steal the source code for the site, copied it, and used it to develop Facebook. When the news broke that Mark may be stepping into the ring with Elon Musk, they were ecstatic about the whole thing. The idea idea of seeing their old rival getting his teeth knocked in was something they were very down to see. While they haven't actually dropped any cash on the event yet, they have said that they'd be willing to sponsor the event if it means that Elon Musk is gonna clock Mark right in the kisser. Number 2, Bill Gates. The brain behind computer and gaming giant Microsoft, Bill Gates is a genius beyond compare. Okay, well not really, he gets compared to Steve Jobs a lot. Bill doesn't normally comment on anything, really, but he's given his 2 cents this time around. Or I guess since he's a billionaire, it would be his $2,000. I don't know how that works. Bill is actually on nobody's side. In fact, he believes that this whole thing is silly beyond belief. He called out Elon on social media, claiming that the job of a CEO is to maintain the integrity of the company at face value and beyond. Basically, if you're the CEO of a major company, don't make all these comments about getting into an altercation live in the ring. It's only gonna make the company look bad. Bill may have a point. This is the man who gave us the second best home gaming device in the world. Sorry buddy, I'm a Sony boy all the way. With Bill chiming in, maybe he's also gonna get swooped into the ring. This fight just keeps getting better and better. Let's put Bill Gates in some gloves. And at number 1, Chris Rock. Comedian Chris Rock was in the news cycle in a similar vein to this last year during Oscar season. In case you didn't know already, Chris made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's alopecia, and her husband Will stood up in the middle of a ceremony and just slapped him across the face with full force. Despite the onstage altercation, Rock kept his cool and the night went on, with just a little bit of awkwardness looming over, because hey, Will won the night's Best Oscar award, going down in history with one of the hardest speeches to sit through ever. Since getting wind of a potential bout between Elon and Mark, Chris has chimed in with a, "Can I be the referee?" It's nice to see so many people taking a comedic approach to this situation. I honestly would pay so much money to see Chris Rock host a cage match with Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. With all the celebrity power surrounding this event, it makes sense that this fight should be marketed as a one-time charity event, giving all the ticket proceeds to someone who could actually use the money and, use their fists for good. And for the love of God, make Chris Rock host it.